Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. May I have your attention, please? We are going to start with IELTS speaking part 1. And I'm just going to give you some briefing about speaking part 1. Right? So, as far as speaking part 1 is concerned, it's just a short talk with the examiner. And they will ask you one sentence questions. It's a very good opportunity for you to impress the examiner in speaking part 1. Okay, so there are few things which you need to keep in mind when you are answering the question. First of all, do not give indirect answer, because if you give any indirect answer, that answer will go into the pile of crammed answer, right? For example, they ask you a different question and you start with the background information, so that sort of answers will go to crammed answers. And crammed answers have got very low band score criteria. Like if it is crammed answer in writing, it will give you around 1 band. If totally your answer is crammed, means ratta hua answer. In speaking also, an examiner will easily understand that you have crammed the answer. So do not give any crammed answer. Instead of that, it's a good idea. The key is speak spontaneously. Now what is spontaneous? Your own ideas, your own sentences, the way you naturally speak your language, that will bring you better band score. But if you cram or if you say something out of your memory, that will bring you low band score. So in order to answer the question, first of all, you should understand the question. By the way, in speaking part 1, you will not have any understanding issue, because the questions are simple sentences, one sentence question with WH question. And what are WH questions? When, why, who, where, how often, how long, right? And mainly they use 4 to 5 tenses to ask you these questions. The most common one is present simple. Do you? When do you? Where do you? Why do you? How do you? So do you means question is in present tense. Exactly. Second one is did you. Now did you means past simple. So if they ask you any question with did you, you will answer using past simple tense. And will you, that is future. Apart from these 3 tenses, 2 more tenses are important for speaking part 1. The first one is present perfect, right? For example, say what have you done recently, or what have you done to give a new look to your room, or anything like that. So have you done, what have you done, this is all present perfect tense. And one important question, how long have you been? How long have you been means present perfect continuous. 90% students give wrong answer when they ask you a question, how long have you been living in this city? And they say, I am living in this city for 10 years. Wrong. What's the right answer? I have been living in this city for 10 years. So these 5 type of questions are important, and questions are going to be simple, one sentence questions and all that. Now how to answer? Just remember 4 things. Examiner's marking criteria in IELTS speaking. Number 1, it is fluency. Fluency does not mean that you have to speak very fast. Fluency only means you have to speak without any break. Now for example, right now the way I am speaking, I am talking to you, this is fluent. On the other hand, if I am going to talk to you very fast, that is also fluent. Now what is lack of fluency? Okay, I want to say first of all, when I drink water, after that I feel good, This is what we say, lack of fluency. So fluency does not mean to speak English fast. Fluency means no taka-tak, whatever, right? So you got to avoid any and all that. The second criteria is pronunciation. I'm not saying accent. They will not give you good band score that you speak British English, American English and all that. All you need to do, you need to speak clearly, and your pronunciation should be very clear. थोड़ा सा इसको adjust कीजिएगा. Your pronunciation should be very, very clear. Now how clearly? For example, if you say, well, in my leisure time, I feel pleasure. See that leisure and pleasure. So this is wrong pronunciation. What's the right one? Leisure or leisure, right? Pleasure, pleasure, measure, leisure. And try to do a little cut. What is that? Cat, right? Kite and Pakistan, something like that. So just try to use the k sounds as well, then you'll be fine. Okay, now what is bad pronunciation? I want to tell you it is very small problem, and this problem usually occurs and lack of pronunciation. So if your native language is smelled in your English, it means that's the wrong pronunciation. So you have to focus your pronunciation. Again, I tell you clearly, it's not that you have to speak British English or American or Australian or Canadian. Speak, normal English without any, accent signs from your native language. After that, third criteria is grammatical range. For part 1, I advise you all to use compound sentences. Now, what are compound sentences? When you join two sentences together. For part 1, you can just remember fans boy, F-A-N-S, fan boys, F-A-N-B-O-Y-S. Fan boys are some words which you can use to connect your sentences. So for part 1, compound sentences with fan boys will help you. Say, what do you do in your free time? Well, it depends. Mostly, whenever I get some free time, I prefer to watch a movie. Right? Now see opposite, bad grammar. What do you do in your free time? In my free time, I watch movie. I like movies. I often watch movie. Movies are good. Free time is good for movies. I watch movies for 2 hours. I enjoy a lot. No connectivity. Right? So this is the plan for 4 band, 4.5 band and all that. So if you connect your sentences, that is going to be good grammar. After this, the last criteria is vocabulary. Now, examiner in part 1 does not want to see high 5 vocabulary. Then at the end you say, I spoke very difficult English, even examiner didn't understand me. So that English is actually, we call them jargons. Jargons are specific terminologies, right? For example, if you are from engineering field, so they have some specific terminology for engineering. If you use those words, for example, if you are from English literature background and you use the words of Shakespeare English and all that, so that will not be highly regarded. Remember, for vocabulary in IELTS, the key is synonyms. The key is variety of words related to the topic. Now, if the topic is, okay, that's loud enough. Thoda sa kam kar de. Otherwise, it's fine. So, for example, if they ask you, what's your favorite color? Favorite is the word, right? Now, what's your favorite color? One answer is, my favorite color is black. I like black color. This color is very good. This color attracts my eyes. That is why it is my favorite. I buy black clothes. I like this color. Repetition. See that? What is repetition? Same favorite, right? Same like again and again. I don't say like you need to change it altogether, but for example, what's your favorite color? I have always liked black color, rather fascinating to me. Therefore, since my childhood, I have found strange attraction towards this color. So this is my favorite color, and whenever I go for shopping, I always look for dark colors, and black is one of those colors, something like that. Clear? Right? So if you say, what's your favorite color? Color? My favorite color is black. I like black. I have black shoes. I like black clothes. I like this black. I like that black. Favorite, favorite, favorite. That is all repetition. So you can just pick up a couple of words. There will be 1 to 2 words in the question, and you need to find the synonyms of those words, variety, and at least you need to answer in 4-5 sentences. So 4 criteria. Number 1, fluency. Number 2, pronunciation. Number 3, grammar. And number 4, vocabulary. Now, the second thing is how to answer. Very simple. Whenever they ask you the question, the first thing is you need to use parroting technique. What is parroting technique? Simple. Whatever the question is, they ask you question in interrogative, you convert it into positive. For example, do you get up early in the morning? Yes, I do. Or what is your favorite book? Well, I like the Holy Quran most, something like that. So parroting means they ask you question in interrogative sentence, you convert it into a positive one using different words. After that, you should always, now the first thing is answer the question directly. Second thing is elaborate your answer. Now when you elaborate your answer, maximum 2 to 3 sentences, and maintain good eye contact with the examiner. Examiner's eyes or facial expressions or body language will tell you that this much is enough, right? Or they ask you a question, okay, what's your favorite color, and you are answering, and then they say, all right, how often do you use this color? You are answering, and maintain good eye contact, right? Don't just ignore the examiner. If they give you a gesture to stop, conclude and stop, and allow the examiner to go on. Now, by the way, you don't know how long should the answer be. And don't just think badly, like some students when they go, and one of the students complained from India, when I started my answer, examiner said, thank you, next question. Then I answered my question, examiner said, thank you, next question. If you are giving irrelevant answer, they will say thank you and next question. They will not allow you to speak irrelevantly, right? So if your answer is irrelevant, if your answer is indirect, if you don't understand the question and you're giving a wrong answer, then they will say thank you and move on to next question, number one. Number two, if you're giving a very long answer, even at that time they will say thank you and move on to the next question, right? So these are few things you need to consider. Answer the question directly, elaborate your answer in 2 to 3 sentences, and conclude in 1 sentence. Therefore, black has always been my favorite color, right? Conclude your answer in 5 sentences, that's going to be ideal. Now, let's take a start. I'm going to ask you some questions, and one more thing, the first question is, do you work or study? Now, it depends on you. Don't worry whether you are taking academic IELTS or gender training IELTS, don't worry about that. Even if you are taking gender training IELTS, you can say I'm studying. Or you are taking academic IELTS, you can say I do a job or anything. Because the next questions will depend on this very answer. But the way you answer this question, the next questions will depend on that, right? Do you work or study? I remember in one of my IELTS tests, I said, where I got 8 band in speaking, I said, I'm a student. That time I was a teacher, English language, spoken English teacher. I said, I'm a student. They asked me, what do you study? I said, I'm studying Spanish language. So then they asked me more questions. I could handle that. And in order to become a student, you have to become a bit innocent. I'm already innocent, you know that. Okay, so you just need to go on like this. So whatever, if you can handle, right? Like for example, if you are married, for example, and they say, what do? You say, I'm stay at home man. Yeah, handi roti karna kar rahe ke, or something like that. So you can answer all the questions. But anyways, this first question is very important. Examiner is going to put you into a category where they are going to ask you the rest of the questions. So you cannot change your answer. Just decide that, okay, I'm a student. I can handle the questions. Being a student, I'll tell them I'm a student, and they will ask me questions like that. Okay. Now let's take a start. It's your turn. I'm going to ask you some questions about your accommodation, right? One more thing, don't always think that I will come up with real answers. I will come up with true answers. Just keep in mind, there is a question. In 4 or 5 good sentences, you have to answer the question. That's it. Okay? It's not that you just think, all right, how many rooms are there in your house? Let me count. That one, that one, that one. Oh, that's a store. Okay, but now it's a small bedroom. Now that one, that. You don't need to think. Examiner is not concerned about it. They will not come to your house and say, "Dakha keda kamra kithe." Not like that, okay? So if you live in a small house, big house, whatever. So just, you need to idealize the question and give an ideal answer. You understand ideal answer? Ideal answer is something exactly according to the question. Now, for example, if the question is, do you live in a house or flat? So you can answer, first decide what, right? For example, I live in a house, but I can handle flats also, right? Do you live in a house or flat? Well, at the moment, I am living in a flat because I am out of my town. I am in this city for my job, but otherwise I live in a house back to my hometown. I have a big house where I live. See? Okay, so let's take a start now. You will answer the questions and you'll speak loud and clear so the class fellows could listen to you very, very carefully. Do you live in a house or flat?
I live in a house, a brick made house, and that is contained with a 2 two bedrooms and one living room and a kitchen, and it is very spacious and very beautiful.
Okay, now see that you're using and then next sentence, and then next sentence. So try to overcome this and. Say, for example, do you live in a house or a flat? I live in a house and this house is rather large. There are several rooms in my house. We've got 5 bedrooms, something like that. Not necessary that you put and. Just take a little pause and start your next sentence without and. Okay, let's go on. Please describe your house.
Basically, it is a single portion brick house, and it is very spacious. It is very spacious, and it contains 2 bedrooms and a living room, and there is a little garden in a backyard and in the front, and we love to enjoy our time there. And there is my room.
Okay, again, 6th time you used and here, right? So you should avoid and one more thing, you should focus your fluency also. You're taking certain pauses as well. I told you, instead of using and, take a little pause, start the next sentence, or you can say moreover, right? That could be better. What is your favorite room in your house?
Actually, my room is my first favorite room, and it is very because I feel so much comfortable in my own room. I set my room with my own choice. That is why I feel so comfortable and relaxed there.
Okay, that's good. So try to use a variety. What is your favorite room in your house? For favorite, for room, for house. So I love my own bedroom in my house very much because the way I have decorated, and it's very comfortable. I always find myself in a very good state of mind when I enter my room. So therefore, I would say my own bedroom is my most favorite in my house. You know, there is one thing we call it intonation. Intonation means, what's your favorite room? My favorite room. Right? If if I say, do you want to eat ice cream? You say, yes. You'll not say, do you want to eat ice cream? Yes. Not like that. So intonation always helps you further, right? Focus your fluency, avoid ands, and it's going to be fun, right? Now let's go on. Please, you can turn the mic towards you. Okay, now I'm going to ask you questions about hometown. Hometown is a very hot topic. Ever since IELTS test was developed, day 1, hometown is most favorite topic. Hometown, home, and all that, right? So, tell me about your hometown.
Lahore is my hometown, and Lahore is very beautiful because I was born there, and it was such a beautiful since my childhood. And there are variety of changes in it. But
there have been a variety of changes here.
And but still it has its charm in it.
Okay, now listen. In IELTS speaking, there will be some questions where you have to answer in 1 or 2 sentences. So this can be one of those questions. What's the name of your hometown? Or tell me about your hometown. My hometown is Lahore, and this is one of the modern cities in my country, something like that, okay? So try to add on and try to connect your ideas together. Let's go on. Is your hometown a big city or a small place?
Obviously, Lahore is big city and considered as a big city.
And it is considered.
And it is considered as a big city in Lahore, in Pakistan. And most of the people used to live in Lahore.
Used to live is wrong.
Usually,
you can say a large number of people live in this city.
Because it gives more opportunity, work opportunities, and it provides.
It provides.
It provides a lot of job opportunities.
See that the question is big or small. Now you are talking about job opportunities. So this answer is irrelevant. It's not relevant. You just need to talk about the size. For example, is your hometown big or small? Well, Lahore used to be a very small city. In fact, it was walled city 100 years ago, but now it has become a mega city because all the suburban areas, they have joined this city. So I would say today Lahore is one of the mega cities of the world. That's it. Simple. Now see that I use the word mega city. Examiner will say, aha, that's good. You use the word metropolitan, mega city, this and that. So once you use these words, you will be ranked in high band actually, right? Let's go on. How long have you been living there? Present perfect continuous.
I have been living here more than 20 years.
I have been living here for more than 20 years or since
My
2000,
childhood.
something like that. So please complete your answer.
I have been living here in Lahore for 20 years, more than 20 years.
Okay, this is not a complete answer.
It was my birthplace, and
It is.
It is my birthplace, and still I'm living here.
Okay, still this is the short answer, right? How long have you been living in this city? I've been living in this city for around 20 years. I was born here, and since my birth, I've been living here, something like that. Okay, quick answer, confident answer, fluent answer, variety of words, that will bring you good band score. Okay, thank you.